Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show, June the 15th, 2024. And we are live here every weekend down at WCCO, News Talk 830 here in Minneapolis. This is a live show, an interactive show. Welcome your questions, comments, thoughts at any point. It's hosted by Mike Overson of Luminate Home Loans, Scott Wollmering, and myself, Ryan O'Neill of the Minnesota Real Estate Team and RE/MAX Advantage Plus. We hope your weekend is starting off well. Good morning to you, Mr. Mike, Mr. Scott, and also joining us in studio, Adam McIntyre Barn, the founder and owner of Nordy Photography. We got a great discussion. Good morning, guys. Good to see y'all.
Yeah, good
morning.
Good morning. Good to be here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like Ryan said, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We are going to have a live show coming up. Please tune in through the whole thing. 612-294-6949 is how you can call if you have any questions, if you want to join the discussion. Also, mnrealestateshow.com. You can find out everything about the team, how everything works. We do sell homes for a living. We don't just do a radio show. So if you would like us to help you, please reach out to us. Whether you're looking to buy, invest in real estate, sell, we can help you with everything.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. Mike, a lot going on in the mortgage world, too, with you and the Luminate team.
Yeah, always lots of stuff going on. So some announcements on the NAR thing with VA loans. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit. Interest rates came down this week, so that's a good thing. We'll talk about that a little bit as well.
Yeah, Adam, good to see you. Fresh from Ireland.
Oh, yes. I had to go back to refill my accent a little bit.
Does that happen when you go back?
Oh, yeah.
I grew up in Texas through fourth grade.
Yeah.
And years later, like I would go visit my grandparents in high school. And whenever I'd come back, I'd have my full Texas accent.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, totally, like 100% back. You know, like y'all, the whole thing.
It's back. It's back. Hey, we're getting ready to go live on air again. We're on WCCO, and wherever you're catching us on social media, we do appreciate it. This is an interactive show. We talk about current updates in the market, real estate, mortgage, obviously today, photography with Nordy Photography. You're welcome to join us. Don't hesitate to interrupt us really at any point throughout the show. First segment, Mike's going to be doing a real estate update as well. It's good to have you, Mike. It's good to have you. You've been busy. You've had a lot going on family-wise, too.
Been busy. Yep. Coached my son's football team, and they play every Saturday morning for the last 6-7 weeks. So that's why it's been hit or miss here.
I remember those days.
Yep.
Here we go. We're going live on air. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope your Father's Day weekend starting off well. Good morning and welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thank you for joining us, everybody. June the 15th, 2024. And we are live here at News Talk 830 WCCO every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a live real estate show that is hosted by Mr. Mike Overson of Luminate Home Loans, and then Scott Wollmering and myself, Ryan O'Neill of the Minnesota Real Estate Team, RE/MAX Advantage Plus. We welcome you, and this is a live interactive show. You can join us 612-294-6949, 612-294-6949, anytime throughout the show. Questions, comments, thoughts. The show's meant to be helpful, informative, fun. Mike and Scott, top of the morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Ryan.
Good morning. Good to be here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like Ryan said, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Love that you're joining us for the entire hour, hopefully. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us with any of your questions. Also, mnrealestateshow.com if you'd like us to help you sell a house, help you buy, or you just have questions in real estate. You can join us there all the time.
Yeah, I did want to give just a quick shout out. Jack Dickinson, Jack and Vanessa on our team, just this past week helped a kind of longer term radio show listener get an accepted offer on a purchase agreement. So congratulations to our listener, Mike. I know you're helping them too.
Yep. They reached out. I'm doing the loan for them, and it's a great couple moving here from Michigan. Got a VA loan offer accepted. So they're going to be closing in the middle of July, and everything's good there.
Yeah, actually, Tara on my team, speaking of radio clients, Tara is working with a radio person that came in 6 years ago and is now actively going to be buying a house. So that's exciting. So that is the way we work, by the way. There is no pressure. So whether you are inquiring about something you want to do in the next 5 years, or whether you are thinking about selling your house right now, we are here to be a resource. 612-294-6949. Hey, you know what? Happy Father's Day.
Yes.
To everybody out there, all the daddies in the world. I am one of them. Mike, happy Father's Day to you as well. My dad, who passed away a while ago. So the question of the week is, what is the best nugget that your dad has ever given you? What thing did he teach you that you've held on for your whole life that you think has been a skill that you've always remembered?
Yeah, very good. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us. We are live here every Saturday for the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers, to, of course, my late father, Bob O'Neill, Robert, and Mike. A lot going on. First segment, we always do real estate, mortgage update. What's cooking in the mortgage world?
Yeah, well, let's talk about rates, because that's actually a good thing here. I know that, if you've been listening to the show since the beginning of the year, it's been up and it's been down. It's been 50-50. This is one of those weeks where interest rates went down, and so it's good news to talk about. Some examples, 2 VA loans. One was the radio show listener here. Locked them in at 6.25 on a 30-year fix this week. Had a couple conventional loans, 6.625, 6.75. So if we go back 2 weeks, we were talking, 7 to low 7s, and now we're talking mid 6s and even low 6s in certain cases. So the reason why that is because the CPI report this last week was good. So CPI is Consumer Price Index. It's basically just it's a measure of inflation, right? Did consumer goods go down in cost, or did they go up in cost? Well, that report showed that consumer goods went down in cost, so inflation is lower. The markets reacted well, and now we have lower interest rates.
Interesting. We were talking a little bit before the show. Rates have been, Mike, for the year, basically kind of near the 7. Is that what you've seen?
Yeah, we started the year at 6.125. Wow. January 2nd, they were at 6.125. And then it kind of just went up slowly all the way up, and we crept all the way up to 7.5. The highest point was 7.5 back in the middle of May. So 6.125 to 7.5 this year, lots of ups and downs, and we've been talking about that on the show as well. We're just waiting for that one thing to grab so that we can get in the low 6s and stay there for a while, right? So that's the one thing we want to get some just consistency there. So hopefully this last CPI report and this last Fed meeting, hopefully this is the start of lower interest rates grabbing, and then we can hopefully stay, in the mid 6 range for a while.
Scott, what do you think?
I think let's see what the real estate numbers are, and we'll see what's going to happen with rates and the real estate numbers. See if they can combine well.
Yeah, let's look at new listings, new homes for sale in the Twin Cities metro area. They were down 3.8%, 1,463 new properties came on the market. Pending sales or accepted purchase agreements down 5%, 960 pending sales. And then the inventory is up about the same as last week, almost 14%, 8,450. And then the last comment is the average American household spent 24.2% of their income on mortgage payments in the first 3 months of the year, according to the National Association of Realtors, and that's down from 26.1% the previous quarter. So there's some thoughts for you, thoughts about those stats, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that sticks out to me is, again, with rates kind of dropping down to 6.25, we've had people that have been sitting there. For those that don't pay attention to the show, we always track numbers. So if you put a $500,000 listing on, you might have 1,500 people that have a saved search. That means there's agents out there that are dealing with that volume of buyer. But as you see, every week our listings continue to go up. I think we're at 8,400, which again is still a seller's market. 18,000 is balanced, but it is creeping. We were 6,000. Last year we were 5,000. Now we're 8,000, and you can feel it with the activity level. There's people out there that are not liking the rates. They're not liking what their dollar is buying. And they're slowing down, and we can feel it.
Yeah, again, Mike, we were talking a little bit before the show. File activity for you year to date, do you think it's similar to last year? Again, last year was a really down year comparatively for the market overall. What are you feeling? What are you sensing?
I think we're pretty close to last year, maybe up slightly, but I think we're real close to our same numbers that we had last year at this time.
Yeah, we're going to continue the discussion here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Welcome your questions, comments, thoughts, really at any point. Did want to give a listing shout out. Susan Mall, a great agent on the Minnesota Real Estate team, has one in Chanhassen, 8030 Erie Avenue in Chanhassen. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath Rambler. It has a spaciously finished basement. It's EV ready for a 2-car garage for electric car enthusiasts. That's cool. It's close to the Rice Marsh Lake Park, move-in ready, and it's got a large fenced backyard. Check that one out, 8030 Erie Avenue in Chanhassen, Susan Mall with the Minnesota Real Estate team and RE/MAX Advantage Plus. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us on social. We do appreciate it. We got a tight setup today, guys, right? We should all scoot together,
Right?
as close as we can. Adam, what do you think, buddy? Good to have you on.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I feel like it's been a while.
I know.
With travel and all sorts. So, yeah, it's good to see you guys again.
We love that accent. We love the accent. I think if we had you hosting the show, listenership would increase.
Oh, it would for sure. It would for sure. Yeah, it's if you could have an accent or you could play the guitar.
Yeah.
Then women are just not even an option.
What about the piano?
They're not a problem, are they? Or
What about the piano?
Or the piano. If you can sing and play an instrument, the rest.
Maybe the O'Neill brothers could bring in a little keyboard
I think
during
we
the
should.
show and just do a little.
Yeah,
That'd be
I like
nice.
that.
Do you play guitar?
Not very well.
He does.
Technically, yes.
Yes.
Technically, yeah, it's not a no, but it's not a. I'm not gonna pick the guitar up. and
So,
play it,
Nordy
so-
Photography, fellow agents, brokers, those catching it, you're familiar with our friends at Nordy, great company in the Twin Cities. So many of you use them. Tell people a little bit about who Nordy is. What are you guys seeing activity-wise?
So we're pretty busy this year. We're up about 30%.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my
this year
gosh.
again, which is great. Yeah, we just focus on great photos, really great service, and yeah, we don't really try and do anything too fancy. We just focus on keeping our customers happy,
Yeah.
doing a good job, showing up when we say we're going to show up, and yeah, that's it. We just head down and do our thing. And
Yeah, it is interesting. There's more people. I've seen more agents doing the iPhone thing with the photos.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we had someone this week reach out who their listing has been on for 10 months. And the first thing our agent noticed is we just looked at the photos and it was kind of an iPhone special. And yeah, I mean,
Well-
we're visual,
well-
we're visual.
Well, and agents don't understand that. I mean, if you're trying to save money by doing there's certain reasons you spend money. One is so that you can show what kind of level of professionalism you are. There's more people that look at your listings than just the people that are buying it, other people that are selling their house.
Sure.
So you've got a listing with your iPhone pictures in the neighborhood that you want to do business in. Are any of those other neighbors going to use you when they go, oh my gosh, you see O'Neill's pictures? It looks like he took them with his iPhone.
Well, and that happens.
Oh, for
That
sure.
happens where people will talk. And but Adam, again, with you guys, quick turnaround. It seems like you've got employees
yeah.
part of your company, so they're not just random independent contractors. Actual employees. They have their own. Don't you have your own little cars too?
Yeah, we've got a couple of Priuses scooting about. So
Do you have the wrap on it?
one of them has a wrap on it. And it breaks my heart that it's a Prius, but
It breaks my heart.
you know,
You're not a fan of the Prius or what?
No, you
I mean, I'm
are.
paying-
You are definitely.
Well,
You're a Prius guy.
oh, I'm a fan of it when I'm paying for the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's I don't personally drive one. So
You don't personally, but you do have it wrapped.
yeah, we have one of them that's wrapped in all Nordy. It's a gray one, and then there's another one as well.
The way I met this guy was, it's interesting. A lot of people think email marketing is dead, the way I met this guy was through his email marketing. I'm like, this guy's got some good stuff. Usually it's stuff spammy. You
Yeah.
don't read it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, wow. So that's how.
And
I
you
think
always
that,
responded to it, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
Because normally we got unsubscribe and Ryan was like, hope you're having a great week. Excellent.
Isn't that should be his bumper sticker.
Well, he's got that
I know
on his window.
Yes. What is it that? It
Here we
says?
go.
Hope your day is wonderful.
I hope
by
something.
all barometers.
by all barometers.
I hope something good happens to you.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. We're going back live. Hey, welcome back. Act 2 of the Minnesota Real Estate Show, live show, local. We welcome your questions, comments, thoughts. We're a real estate team. We help people buy homes, sell homes, invest in real estate. Got to give a nice shout out to my dear niece, Rhiannon O'Neill, graduating from high school. And she has her graduation party today. Tom, my brother Tom, and Amy's youngest. Super excited for the graduation party for Miss Rhiannon, who's got a real bright future ahead. So excited for that. It is graduation party season, guys. Mike, have you been hitting any grad parties?
I got 2 today, actually, that I'll be going to.
Yeah, Scott, are you hitting any?
I'm not. My grad parties, except for clients, are kind of done. The girls are all, all the kids are older, and Aiden's going to be 21, so not a whole lot of grad parties anymore.
Yeah, we're going to dive back in here to the second segment. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us. Did have a text question come in, said, hey guys, I heard you mention the VA offer acceptance. Are my chances a little better as a VA client to get a deal done? Mike, what are you seeing on that front?
I think they're better now for sure. So there was a time there where it's like FHA and VA offers were just so tough to get through. I got 3 VA deals going on right now, to be honest with you. So we have seen that loosen up a little bit, which is good. And in the VA loan, in my opinion, the VA loan is the best loan program out there. If every loan could model kind of their underwriting requirements around the VA, I think the world would be a better place, to be honest with you. But I think that's loosened up here. We've seen more down payment assistance loans get accepted and things like that too. So that's good news. We all kind of wanted to see that.
Yeah, it's not the fight to the finish line that we had 2 years ago where you go out, you see a house, you run back, there's 15 offers on it, you waive everything and write it. That's not the market that we're in right now. We have only 8,000 homes, but we also have a lot of buyers that are sitting on the shelf, not liking these interest rates.
Yeah, what Scott would do, the fight to the finish, he would after the showing, he would run back to his laptop and just quick open it and start hammering away.
Start purchasing it. Yes, absolutely.
By the way, that's how we do it now. If you haven't bought or sold a home in a while, everything's electronic. The days of the triplicate forms when I started, that was always fun. At our wonderful, kind friends at Edina, had a great broker. We know Mr. Bill Lipka. We'd get that triplicate forms out. We'd be writing through it. Be sure you got to push hard enough to get through all forms.
3 copies.
And
it's hard to go through all 3
You give
copies.
one to a client, you give one to the office, and what the third one's for yourself.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. I was talking with an agent the other day on the team, and I had sold a lot of homes my first year. I was young.
6.
Yeah, 6. And I was young. I had 3 kids. I was panicked, so I was a lunatic. And but I was telling him that amount of homes that I had sold, those were all handwritten. So literally, what takes 1 minute took 2-3 hours per deal. Had to get it signed by your people. Go get it signed by their people. They countered it. Now you got to go meet with your people. Have them sign off on it. Now you got to bring it and deliver it to the listing agent. You got to get the earnest money check. Have that delivered. All these things that we do at the click of a button. Then we're done physically running around. It was way more time consuming.
Earnest money is the same way. If you haven't bought or sold in a while, earnest money, a lot of it is done through what's called trust funds, which is again electronic instead of the handwritten check. But from a mortgage efficiency, Mike, has there been anything you think about that with your business over 20 years, something that's really streamed it? I suppose electronic signatures too.
Electronic signatures is one. So most of the forms now, there's a few forms that the government still wants wet signed, but most of the forms can be electronically signed up front, the initial disclosures and, the rate lock agreements and this and that and blah, blah, blah. locking a loan back in the day was faxed in, right? You had
Yeah.
this lock form.
Yeah.
You had this
I
lock
remember
form,
that.
you know, what type of loan, you know, and what loan of value. It's like you had all these things. You had a circle, and there was all these different adjustments, and then you actually have to fax it in,
Fax it.
and then you would wait for the fax confirmation to come back. So that was like our turtle pace type of process back in the day.
Hey, it's Father's Day weekend. Happy Father's Day to all those watching, catching us on social or obviously live on CCO here. Scott, your question is again.
What is the best piece of advice for Father's Day? What's the best piece of advice your father ever gave you that stuck with you?
Why don't you kick it off?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. There was a couple things with my dad that always stuck with me. He said, learn how to do things that you do not like doing very well. And his point was, you don't want to pull the weeds in the garden. Go after it like you're killing snakes because it's something you hate doing, so you do it exceptionally well. And I thought that was a good life lesson, because there are a lot of things, especially in business, that you just don't want to do. But it's better to do them quickly and to do them well. That's probably it. And then probably manners towards women. He was a military guy, so opening doors, yes ma'am, yes sir. I grew up that way, and so that was an important thing.
Mike, you got anything hot on the brain that's coming to your mind?
Two things. So I mean, my dad has a very good work ethic. I think that's where I get it from. I mean, I was 7 years old, and we're out, I'm baling hay.
Yeah.
He's driving the tractor and I'm on the rack. I can't lift the bales, but I can slide them.
Yeah.
So once I cut off the baler, I'd slide them back, and then he'd stop the tractor and then stack them for me, right? And then we keep going, and then I just keep pulling them off. So work ethic is one thing. And then he was big into fishing, and so
Yeah.
I'm big into fishing now. My sons are like fishing, love fishing. So that's the other thing too. We always used to do.
It's interesting because, Mike, you work so much. To think about you as a fisherman. And I mean, obviously, I know a lot of other fishermen who work a ton.
A lot of fishermen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But think about that.
What
I
are their
mean,
names?
you're always working. I mean, while we were on the show, folks, Mike has an automated text that goes out to says, hey, good morning. Let me know if you need any pre-approval letters. Have a great weekend. So, I mean, I'm talking to the guy here, and I'm getting a text message from him, a fellow agents, bro. I mean, that's the type of work. I mean, you're just going.
Yeah. I mean, sleep is
You'll sleep when you're dead.
yeah, right. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't even know what that is. Explain to me what sleep is,
Yeah.
will you please? But yeah, I mean, it's you got 4 kids, and you got, you run your mortgage business, all this and that. It's like, it's just go. That's what I'm used to.
Well, yeah, and besides that, when you're doing work that you love, it's like, obviously I don't work like I used to when I was in my 30s, but when you are really, really busy like that and you enjoy the work, it doesn't feel like work. Like I've got some younger kids younger people joining the team, and that's one of the things I had cautioned them is I said, when you really get rolling, it kind of steps on itself. It's like, you don't even really know where the business is coming from. Then all of a sudden you've just got business rolling on. And the point is, you want to find something that you spend 80% of your life doing, which is work, that you enjoy. I would hate to do something that I didn't like.
Yeah, before the break here, did want to touch on a listing. Jennifer Tischlitter has one in Shakopee, 1933 Cardinal Drive for $525,000. It is, she said, an open floor plan with a 2-story, great room, tons of windows, natural light. She also went on to comment and said that it has a main floor home office with room for 2 with beautiful built-ins, 3 bedrooms upstairs, walk-in closets, new roof, siding, and garage doors. Finished walkout lower level, freshly painted and new carpet, move-in ready. Again, check out the pictures. 1933 Cardinal Drive in Shakopee for $525,000. Also a shout out to Jen and Paul. They have a wedding this weekend. Very exciting for their family, for their kids as well. So congratulations to them on the wedding. We're at the halfway point. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show here on News Talk 830 WCCO.
How to hunt, how to grill. Those are some dad things.
Yeah.
How to work the grill and how to hunt.
How to hunt and how to grill. Adam, are you a griller?
Oh yeah,
You are.
yeah.
Is that big in Ireland or no?
weather dependent. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I just extended the patio in our backyard to like kind of create an extra little space for some grills.
So, like, what's your grill of choice? You doing pellets? You doing?
I've just got like
Blackstone?
a normal Weber.
Your
sort of,
regular.
and then we got a pizza oven, which is fun.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Adam. So we're talking about qualities of our dads and different things. You really have taken the Nordy photography business and really grown it in markets where there are a lot of individual photography companies, maybe one woman or one man operations.
Mhm.
You've really grown this wonderful business. We're talking about passion. And have you been passionate about pictures, or what's been the rule, or what's been a reason for your success?
You know, that's I get asked that quite a lot with
Yeah.
photos. Like, I didn't go to school for photography. I taught myself how to take photos from lots of YouTube videos back in 2015, 2016 when I moved here. For me, it's mostly about delivering a great experience for our clients. And it, at this point, just happens to be photos and video product. But yeah, I've always been entrepreneurial, and like, even like thinking about my dad, like, you know, he always encouraged me, even from like, I think I started my first business when I was like 13. I was like detailing cars and just different things. And yeah, so it's just, I've always had the bug for it. And
That passion, you can tell
Yeah.
you've got that. I mean, that's been clearly evident with all your people too.
Well, and you hit it on the head. You know, whether it's photography, or before I got in real estate, I owned 3 preschools. You know, it's like, it doesn't matter what the business is. The reality is, you want the experience to be, in my case, you know, with the preschools, experience to be great for the parents, experience to be great for the kids. And how do you achieve that? Whether you had a background in photography or not, you still know the service that needs to be generated.
yeah,
Question text: are we going to see rates drop before the election, guys?
Yes.
Mike,
How much?
Well, you know, I said that we were going to.
you've been saying that for a couple of years.
I said we were going to be in the 5s before the election. I don't think we're going to be in the 5s, but I just think that the one side that wants to get reelected is going to have a real hard time getting reelected with interest rates around 7%. And even though that should not have a direct impact on rates, we all live in the United States, and I believe it will. So I think we're going to see a drop.
Mike?
Yeah, I think it's not going to be a straight line there, right? There's still going to be this. Inflation is still out there, and no matter what you do to try to mask the numbers or make them look better, it's going to be there,
Yeah.
right? So could we see rates in the 5s before the election? I think we'll probably see them touch. I mean, we're not far off now,
Yeah.
right? High 5s, are they going to stay there? No, I think it's going to go in, it's going to come back out, might go back in and come back out, but I think we'll see it.
Yeah, it is. You just wonder, how political are interest rates? How political is it, Mike?
I guess we'll find out, won't we?
It's political. Everything's political.
I mean, people would. Yeah, you just wonder. In the back rooms, they're talking about, is the Fed going to drop rate? How much of those conversations happen?
Yeah. Well, we could do the other. We could do the other question we talked about before the show, which is, do you believe that the Donald Trump? I'm kidding. We're not going to get into any of that.
Any political
No.
political conversation. We're getting ready to go back live on air. This is the second half of the show. We're going to be doing our segment with, again, Adam McIntyre Barn, talking a little bit about photography and the ins and outs of photography. You're welcome to join us, 612-294-6949. Here we go. Second half of the show. Welcome back to the second half of the Minnesota Real Estate Show, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers this weekend. Before we dive in with Adam McIntyre Barn of Nordy Photography, did want to touch on Jennifer Tischlitter has one other listing, 4005 127th Trail in Savage. This one is $525,000 as well. She said it has a large kitchen with stainless steel appliances, granite countertops, subway tile backsplash, 3 bedrooms upstairs, one on the lower level. It's got a maintenance-free deck with an electric sun awning and maintenance-free privacy fence. It's got a new HVAC system in 2023. Huge corner lot, a marquee swim spa available for sale too. 4005, 127th Trail and Savage for $525. One other one here, guys, Mr. Kevin Curtis, wonderful guy, agent with the Minnesota real estate team and Remax Advantage Plus. Scott, this one's in South Minneapolis, 4940 Knox Avenue South for $724,900. It is an exceptional 1.5 Tudor. It's in Lyndhurst, the Lyndhurst neighborhood, just 2 blocks south of Lake Harriet. It's got an updated kitchen with a thermometer paneled fridge, beverage wine fridge, double oven, copper farm sink. Second floor has 756 square feet of raw space with closed spray foam insulation, heat and venting, ready for your custom primary suite. Rare 2-car oversized garage with this neighborhood. And he says it's also an EV ready garage for your electronic vehicles, new furnace, AC in 2019, fenced in backyard with a sprinkler system. And they do have front and rear patios. Really nice photos on that one. Check that out. 4940 Knox Avenue South, 724,900, Scott.
Yeah, great street. The 4900 block in Lyndhurst is an awesome street. So good one for Kevin. He's a great agent.
Yeah, good stuff. Adam McIntyre Barn, owner, founder of Nordy Photography, is on the show with us today. He is one of our partners at mnrealestateshow.com. If you go to MN Real Estate Show, you can see all of the wonderful folks that we work with, helping us with home inspections, with mortgage, with photography, with legal matters, you name it. These are the best of the best folks we've worked with for 20 years here in the Twin Cities that provide outstanding customer service. Adam, good morning to you there, bud.
Good morning, Ryan. How's it going?
Very well, very well. Tell folks a little bit about Nordy, who you guys are, and what you're doing to support agents and customers in the Twin Cities.
Absolutely. So we are a local real estate photography company. We're based here in the Twin Cities. Our job is to look after our clients. It's, we understand the relationship that realtors have with their clients and how, even the service partners of those agents reflect back on the agent. So, making sure that we're making the agent look good is a huge part of what we do. And that's kind of our, when we're training our photographers, we're like, hey, if something's not right on the shoot, it's going to come back on the agent. And it's not necessarily going to come directly back to us immediately. So,
yeah,
how can you tell who's going to, because there is a big difference between the photos that you guys do and the photos that, a lot of other photographers use that are not that great. How do you determine when you're hiring someone, whether they're going to have the eye or however you determine it?
That's a skill that I'm still learning and definitely finessing at the minute. Like kind of an on-the-job, kind of trial by fire. We're fortunate we work with a lot of new construction builders as well. And one of our partners, MI Homes, they actually let us use some of their model homes to kind of go out and do training days. So we can have a variety of different homes. John, who's our lead trainer, he does weekly coaching with our photographers. John's a nationally acclaimed architectural photographer. And so we're really investing back into our people to make sure that, they're not only happy in their job, but they're also like developing their skills and stay interested. And
how many employees are part of Nordy?
oh my, I think at last count, we've got like 15 or 16 in Minnesota. And then we've got a couple, we got a couple of photographers out in Chicago, and then a couple out in Denver as well. So
are you trying to expand Nordy to other markets?
Yeah. So with some of our partnerships, like brokerage partnerships, builder partnerships, we, they've kind of seen the work we do in this, and, there are other divisions of like, oh, hey, these guys do a good job.
Yeah.
Do they want to come here and do it for us? And the answer is yes. Yes, we do.
Adam, we were talking about Father's Day and about best advice from your dear father. What do you think? Is your father living?
Yes. And
where does he live in Ireland?
He works in Dublin and lives just outside the city. So, sometimes he texts in and causes a little bit of chaos. I think one time recently. But yeah, he's, you know, my dad's always been a big supporter and champion of my little entrepreneurial endeavors.
Yeah.
This is definitely the main one that's happened. Nordy's been,
Yeah.
you know, pretty successful. But even from, you know, washing cars in the driveway of our family home, both my parents have supported me a lot in doing that and kind of just pursuing.
What do you think Dad would say, or what is the biggest advice or something that you've taken from Dad, if you can think of things over the years?
You know, I think to just assume the best in people, kind of regardless of the situation. You know, sometimes I think it's easy to, if you're frustrated, to kind of be like, oh no, they're just doing this because of that. And I've found, and my dad has said, you know, assume the best in people, and you know, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but I feel like you're a better person.
But it is a good trait.
Yes.
I think it's one of the best traits to have, to assume that everybody is pretty much good until they show you that they're not.
And it's interesting. I was talking to someone this week who's from the East Coast, and she specifically said to me the direct opposite of what you just said. In other words, she said for a lot of East Coasters, they distrust first until there's the ability. And she's, you know, trying to figure me out a little bit as a Midwesterner, like what's going on there in the Midwest? I wonder if that is a Midwest thing, but because she said literally that's the direct opposite, that she distrusts until there's a reason to believe to trust them.
You know, that's really interesting. So I notice it when I go home. So a quick story about when we got married 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And my best man and groomsmen were kind of all spread out around the world.
Okay.
So we were like, let's try and find our suits in Ireland. Walked into a shop in Belfast, bought 7 suits or whatever.
Okay.
And the owner of the store, Gary, I like handed him my card and was like, hey, just bill me. He goes, oh, no. He goes, you're good. He goes, just pay like when they're like tailored and ready. And I was like, but I'm leaving the country and I'm heading back to the States now. I was like, you're fine. I trust you. And it was just this like, now he's my suit guy. I text him.
There you
like,
go.
If I need a suit, I text him and he will ship my whatever suit I want over to me. And it's great. But that trust up front created this really huge rapport that like I'm not going anywhere else. And
Think about the business. Think about the business. You can see that a lot from real estate sales, where you know, you have the agent that's maybe following you in the house or standing by the car and saying, Scott, do you want to make an offer? You know, Scott, we only have till 5 o'clock here. You know what I mean? Versus building that trust. That's important. That's a really good point.
Yeah, no, it is. Well, and I think it's, you know, it's like, I think your philosophy is very, very similar to Ryan and I. You give people service and you give them information without expecting anything in return. And if you're doing it correctly, hopefully over time, it comes back to you.
Before I forget, Adam, best way for fellow agents, brokers, customers, people thinking of selling, can reach out to Nordy Photography.
So you can download our app on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. It's just search for Nordy Photo. Our website's nordyphoto.com, or the Minnesota Real Estate Show also has us listed there. Or you can call us, text us, whatever works. We have people that actually answer the phone that are based here, and yeah, more than happy to help you out.
Yeah, we're going to continue the discussion with Adam McIntyre Barn, of course, Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans, Scott Wolmering. We're at our final break. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Hey, thanks for joining us on social. We had a nice comment. Mr. Josh says Mike Overson is the man. Josh England.
Nice.
Love that, Josh. Your buddy, he's a good guy.
He's a good dude. Yep. I like Josh.
Good morning to my friend Jen as well. Thank you for joining us. Hope your weekend's going well too. What do you think, guys? Last home stretch here, final segment. We're seeing inventory increase, pending sales down. What do we think, guys?
I think we're going to see a lot of the same. I think, unfortunately, I think that it is still a market that people are tipping their toe in it. You know, they're just not jumping in. And you know, I heard a national statistic that if we have a 1% drop in interest rates. That's when rates were at 7. That 9 million people would enter the market. Well, we're creeping around that 6-ish. So yeah, you get 5 3/4, 6% under that for 30 days. Will people start believing it? Will they start to have that fear of, oh my God, I want to get in now before it goes back to 7.5 or 8? All those things need to enter into a regular market for it to get kind of jump started.
Yeah. Good stuff. Mike, what do you think, bud?
Well, if I look at back last year, so last year, the entire month of June, rates were between 6.125 and 6.75. It was the most steady month that we had for interest rates in the last probably 24 months, roughly,
Yeah.
right? It was predictable. It was just like, this is where rates are at. And August was our busiest closing month last year because as rates steady, then people jump, right? It's like, okay, it's steady. It's been here for a while. Like we can bank on it. They go out, they buy a house, they close in August, and then we started going back up and down again. So I think if we can just get fairly steady again, I think that will help,
Well, I was thinking about this just in longevity back when I started, in 1998, and the different mindset. I was just thinking, I don't remember like when working with clients at that point that I even really was concerned with interest rates or knew how many homes were on the market or any of those things that we're so into now. I was just a new agent. It was fun selling houses and people wanted to buy them and people wanted to sell them.
Yeah.
And I wasn't as involved in all the intricate numbers of it. And, anyways, my point of that was thinking, I wonder if I took that market and this market, if there would be that much difference in it, or if it's just a mindset that you get because you've done something for 25 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Part of it is when you're new to something and not having anything to compare it to. That's a lot of times with the Minnesota real estate team, we'll see new people come into the business that don't know anything else. They don't know interest rates, markets, whatever, and do really well. And I think it's easier sometimes for us when we're used to it to that's not complain, but just say, oh man, this is terrible.
Well,
this is right. Or we need more of this.
Well, from a realtor standpoint, the realtors will understand this as being out of the norm. So my first 9 listings were at 7%.
Yeah.
And I competed on all 9 and I got all 9. I didn't lose, so it wasn't like somebody else went with somebody at 5% or whatever else. And the reason they were all at 7% is because I thought I had to list homes at 7%.
Yeah, you didn't know anything
I
else.
had no idea that you could do it less than 7%.
Sure.
Well, then, of course, when I found out, months later that you can list homes under 7%, well, guess what? I started out listing homes at 7%.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. Again, our question of the week is best advice from your father. Don't hesitate to comment as well.
What's yours?
I'm going to share it live on air as soon as we go on air.
Oh, I thought we were on air. So that
Yeah.
shows you how it plugged on. I thought we were on the radio.
We're on social.
It all blends.
We're on social. Here we go. We're going back live on air. Welcome back to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Final segment here. 2 other listings. Marie Rivard has got one in St. Paul, 1729 Hague Avenue. It's $220,000. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath condo with off-street parking space. It is a condo in Miriam Park. Great location near Whole Foods, walking distance, of course, to the restaurants, all the Grand Avenue shops. It's convenient to the schools, St. Thomas, St. Kate's, Hamlin, Concordia, McAllister. It is a 1919 Craftsman charm with great features, original woodwork, refinished hardwood floors throughout, 2 built-in hutches. And Scott, it does have some new windows. Outstanding floor plan, laundries in the basement with a private storage unit. Private Owners Association includes heat and standard water, sewer, and disposables. Very nice property. Check that out. $220,000, 1729 Hague Avenue in St. Paul. Marie Rivard has that one listed. And the last one, Justin Voss, Mike, has one south of the river down in Farmington, 1309 Larch Street for $350,000. It is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2 garage stall property built in 2000, almost 1,700 square feet. The neighborhood has a playground right behind the house with a swing set and slide. And Scott, the front yard has great views overlooking a city park, again, with that pond with fishing, which Mike loves, and walking paths. He's going to be doing an open house today, Saturday, 12 to 2. Stop on by and say hello. Abigail on the Minnesota real estate team will be there to say hello. 1309 Large Street, Farmington, with the Minnesota real estate team and Remax Advantage Plus. Two nice ones, guys.
Yeah, that's actually, the Large Street's actually a very cool neighborhood for those that have not been to Farmington and has been doing this as long as I have. Remember when that neighborhood was actually focused in a national magazine. And the homes in that neighborhood have a little association. They all back to their own yard, and then they all back to a big common area in between all the homes, so the kids can go out and play. So it was very, very cool neighborhood.
Yeah, really cool. We're at the home stretch here. We're talking about Dad's best advice here from everyone. I'll share that my dear father, Dad, died very young. He was 68.
Too young.
But I think two things that come to mind. One is faith, our faith background, and being grounded in that faith, how it kind of guides your life overall. We're obviously Irish Catholic. We're Catholic, and so that was always very important to Dad, and he put that into all kids. From a life skill, he always, Dad would say, it's not so much what you do in life, it's how you do it.
Very good advice.
If you're going to be an Uber driver, be the best Uber driver. If you're going to be a janitor, be the best janitor. And I think, as a kid growing up, when we got done with college, you appreciate that. And again, one of my older brothers, Tim, we play piano together, being a musician. Tim wanted to pursue music. Dad said, hey, be the best musician you can. It's probably hard as a parent, especially when you look at the ability to make money. But Dad was, again, more about following what you love to do. And again, it's not what you do, it's how you do it, guys.
Yeah, I think it's similar to my dad's, do things that you don't like, do it exceptionally well. I think, it's like if you're going to be a janitor. It's like when I remember the hardest job I ever had was tending block for Bemidji College was building a building, and I would tend block. And for those that have done it before, you probably know what I'm talking about, Mike. You literally take the cement blocks and you put it on the cement, and they have the regular guys that are union that get paid a lot. Well, they have the grunts that just do the work. And I remember that I would get there at 5 a.m. I would get home at 7. My dad would feed me. I'd go to sleep. I'd get up the next morning. But his point was, you do that to where they have to tell you, take a break. It's like, do things well. I mean, have a purpose when you're doing it. I think that's what your dad was telling you as well.
Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans. Again, you're looking for a lender. I encourage you to reach out to Mike and his team. You're looking for a great local bank, Luminate Bank. They've got offices here. Mike, got to give a little shout out to you and your team. You guys, you've been in this industry a long time, but partnering, working with so many agents, brokers, teams, you guys are really doing a nice job.
Yeah. And I can't take all the credit. I got an amazing assistant, an amazing processor that helps with all that. They keep the train on the tracks, to be honest with you. Right. There's so many moving parts with transactions these days. And they do an excellent job, and they've been with me for a long time. And I think it shows, because I think we're very, very polished in our process from start to finish. Our average turn time actually in our branch for the last 24 months from start to finish has been 18 days.
Wow.
Right. So that speaks volumes, I think, right there. We get a lot of deals just because people know that we can close on time. You know what I mean? There's a lot of places out there. It's like, we need 40 days to close. We don't. Give us 18 days. That's our average from start to finish. So kudos to my team. They're great, and I love them, and I couldn't do without them.
Yeah. Again, if you haven't bought or sold a home in a while, the funding of it is very important. Not all funding is created equal. Just because you feel like because of your work history, assets, hey, well, I'll qualify, no problem. It's very important to have that quarterback, he or she, to guide you through the process and to be at a firm that can fund deals. Mike, one of the reasons of many we partner with you guys, you get stuff done.
Yeah, everything's done in-house. Like, literally the only thing that's not done in my branch is underwriting, but that's done at our corporate office right in Minneapolis. So everything in the Savage branch, everything is done there. We have control over it, and that's why we're quicker.
Yeah, we were going to talk a little bit, not too much. Actually, we're up against the final. We'll hit it next week. Next week, we promise we will spend 5 minutes talking about the lawsuit. It's coming up a lot. People have a lot of questions on
Yeah.
what's it going to mean to us. So
You mean the Trump and Biden lawsuits?
yeah, the Trump and Biden lawsuit. Yes,
Yeah, that would be really.
very yes. So tune in next week. We'll handle all your questions on whether you like Biden or whether you like Trump. It'll be a fun show.
Hey, Adam McIntyre Barn, great job, buddy. We're grateful for you and your wonderful company. Nice job as always.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, encourage you to reach out to Nordy Photography. Mike Overson, good job there, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.
And Scott, nice job. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there, to Dennis as well, who produces our show and comes in and deals with us. Happy Father's Day to Dennis too. So thank you all. We appreciate you tuning in to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Enjoy this weekend ahead. Please don't hesitate to reach out anytime. We're here to help. Take care. Thanks, everybody. Fun show. A lot of good comments, good thoughts. And what do you think, guys?
Yeah, happy Father's Day. Everybody enjoy the weekend. It's going to be a nice day tomorrow. So get out there and get on the lake or whatever it is you do.
Tomorrow's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Today's
It's gonna
rain.
be hot. It's gonna be like 90 tomorrow.
That's what I heard.
90 tomorrow.
Oh my
Rained all
gosh.
day
So
today.
if you've got any manual labor to do outside, tomorrow is the day.
Yes. And you lose 8 pounds doing it, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Work on your tan.
Work on your tan. All right, everybody.